Talladega College coming in with a 2-3 mark. Coyotes at 7-8 on the season. One more game to go before the Christmas break. So an opportunity for this set of Coyotes to head into the holidays with a winning mark. As we take a look at the ladies who will be on the floor first for both. T.T. Dixon, Kindlin McCoy, Diana Reese, Alexis Stanton, and Jordan Austin, all getting the starting nine for the Tornadoes. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, a little different look to the starting lineup as compared to a couple of days ago when Coastal North knocked off East Central. You have got Watts in the lineup to go along with Slaughter, as well as Murph and Goodman and Thomas. And we have got your basketball underway. Just about a minute into the contest, but we are scoreless. Over goes to Watts, giving to Slaughter. Turns around and squares up into the corner. Goodman. Out of that corner comes Goodman. Floats into the glass a little bit off the mark to the left, and ripping down the rebound in a battle of the 22s is Austin. Cannot understate how big the win was for Coastal North over East Central. Had played East Central earlier in the year. As a matter of fact, about 3 or 4 weeks ago on the 18th of November in Mississippi, and lost by 48. But able to knock off East Central's Warriors 66-60. So what a difference a couple of weeks makes, and home floor advantage as it is put in play to Austin. Turn around just a little bit short. Thomas with the board. The number 4 rebounder in the ACCC. And these Coyotes would love to build on the win, as Slaughter will get the first 2 of the game. And for the first time, as I mentioned, in a long time, an opportunity for the Coyotes to head home for the holidays with a winning mark. Gun contact. It is of the offensive variety. Kindlin McCoy charged with a foul. And that has got Stephanie Hubbard checking into the game. Out of the game, Jordan Austin for Talladega. Their JV squad, they are a Division II team in the NCAA. And when you go online to find Talladega JV presence, it's just not there. I mean, there is nothing about the ladies' JV squad. Watts, it won't drop. Thomas has got it too strong, got it. Backed it, Slaughter puts it up and in. And it's Slaughter with a 4-zip lead. And Talladega home, obviously, to a pretty big car race. Although I am not into NASCAR, I don't know much about it, but I know it's pretty big for that kind of stuff. Also home to the Talladega College Tornadoes. And Thomas with a strong move wouldn't fall. Watts has got it, puts it back up, and urges it over the rim. Coyotes jumping out to the early 6-0 lead. Working it right side, that is Dixon, the miss. Thomas with another board, fires down the floor to Watson, who's ahead of the pack, lays it up, lays it in, gets fouled, goes to the line with a chance for 3. So the Coyotes with an 8-zip early lead. And Watts at the stripe trying to make it 9. Once on the season, a 59% free throw shooter. And a 9-0 start to the ball game for the Coyotes. Picking up where they left off on Monday. Handed to Reese, kick back out to Stanton. She'll try the 3-ball short. Rebounded by Hubbard. Down low, Reese off the mark. And there is an injured Coyote. Boy, the Coyotes have been hampered by some injuries. Murph came out of the game on Monday, and Thomas came out of the game too on Monday. Both, well, actually Thomas able to get back into that ball game. Murph into the ball game today. Well, it's not looking particularly good at the moment for Thomas. And as a matter of fact, she's going to need assistance coming to the sidelines. Well, let's hope it is something similar to Monday when she came out of the game. I don't think she needed assistance on that particular day, but she did look pretty bummed up on Monday and was able to get back into the game. Let's hope that is true here as well. So Thomas out, Raven Hall checking into the game. And immediately it is stolen away from Hubbard. Goodman has it taken away. Dixon repaying the favor, the shot won't drop. Watts coming out with the rebound. Goodman weaving through traffic, trying to get it over to Hall. That is tipped out of bounds. And the Coyotes still with possession. Goodman to bring it in from the baseline. 5:22 to play in the opening quarter. Tossed into the corner. Goodman bringing it baseline. Feeds over to Hall, and Hall off the window. And the Coyotes halfway through the first have already built a double-digit lead. Three ball dropped in. There's the first points of the game for Talladega as Dixon will deliver. Down low to Raven. Kicks it over to Watts. Back into the corner to Raven. Raven Hall to Goodman. Hall's got it. Too strong. And it is Reese with the rebound. I mentioned one more game for the Lady Coyotes before the holidays. As Slaughter throws it back onto the floor into the hands of Hall over to Goodman. And that will happen Saturday against Albany Tech. Down front to Watts. Slaughter kicks it to Hall. Left open is Goodman, and she'll hit the three. And the lead is double digits again. Loose ball retrieved by Dixon. And that's an air ball on the three try. Here comes Crane and Lennox in. And there's a timeout on the floor. It is a media timeout, something that is being observed a little more often this year than years gone by. Well, we're media, so let's take a break at the 3:44 mark.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my Coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, admittedly, a small crowd on hand for this one. These two teams originally slated to meet one another again in January, and it was supposed to happen here. That game, though, has been canceled. So this will be the only meeting of the year between the two. Excellent ball movement, finishing it off as Crane with 2. And the Coyotes with a 13-point lead early. Into the paint, laying it up and in, that is Dixon. Well, the first couple of buckets for the Coyotes came from number 4, Slaughter. The first couple of buckets for the Tornadoes comes from number 4, that is Dixon. Cross corner goes to Watts. Lennox out of the corner, opposite side. Goodman launches the number 3, dips it in and out. Rebounded by Lennox. Almost lost possession, able to bring it back, gives it over to Goodman. What a feed by Goodman to Watts. Watts will draw the foul, and Hubbard will be the guilty party. Briefly in the game, Kayla Price for Talladega. And she has left the game. Entering now is Jacayla Geiger. Also back in, Jordan Austin. And I see on the front of the jersey of the ladies for Talladega, they skipped the Tala, and they're just the Dega. Over it goes to Austin, brings it into the paint, kisses it off the window, rebounded by Slaughter. Watts, shot blocked, rebounded by Dixon, and we have got a Coyote foul. Key checking into the game for the Coyotes. Back into the contest is Stanton for Talladega. Jumper is short from Hubbard. Goodman feeding it over to Crane. Lost and able to get it back on the left side. Back out front it goes to Lennox. Whips it into the right corner. Goodman bringing it baseline. Off Slaughter. Crane backs up. Fires the 3. Rims out. Follow up by Slaughter was good. And the lead back to 13, matching their largest of the game. Over to Hubbard, brings it into the paint. Austin drives, slides between Coyotes. The miss picked up by Crane. Over to Goodman. She'll bring it in. A little too strong, and the rebound belongs to Stanton. And you got a foul on the way down. Let's see who committed it. The nearby party was Goodman, and Goodman the guilty party. Stanton with a miss on the 3 try and is rebounded by Key. Back out front it goes to Goodman. Lennox, Goodman, down low, Key. She's got her first 2 of the night. And it is thrown away. Shania Cribbs in, throws it away. And the Coyotes, who scored on their first possession, let's see if they'll score on their last. And there's your answer. Nope, it'll be Talladega getting points in the final possession of the first. 27 lead Coyotes after 10 minutes in Monroeville.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal, Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after today. Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Well, we've gotten a little bigger with our crowd. Over the course of 10 minutes on the opposite side of the floor, home side. Got a handful of spectators and got some here as well. Admittedly, sometimes it is difficult to bring out a fan base for a JV squad, especially for the JV team. And for Talladega, having to travel, it's about a 3.5, 4-hour drive. So not many of the mamas and daddies have made the trip down. And as a result, a little smaller crowd than you might typically have on a midweek ball game. Albany Tech and Bishop State, though, coming to town on Saturday. It's a ladies and men's matchup. Stolen away and laid in. Credit the points to Kelsey Rivers. And that is the first time in the game it has been back-to-back unanswered buckets for Talladega, but it is answered there, as Lennox will get 2. Your basketball on Saturday, 2 and 4:30, 2 o'clock for the Albany Tech Lady Coyote game, and 4:30 for the Bishop State Men Coyote ball game. A little strong with the Rivers 3, and it's rebounded by Slaughter. Over it goes to Murph. Out of the corner, Lennox. Murph left open, puts the long 2 up and hits it. She was about 6 inches away from a 3. That will roll away from Rivers, picks it up, goes over to Stanton. Stanton with a miss, the rebound, Keys. Given to Murph, scans the floor on the way down. There's a steal. It was Price reaching up, taking the toss intended for Goodman away. Murph with a rebound. She'll wind up on the hardwood and is charged with a travel. Here comes Watts back into the ball game. Lennox will exit for the Coyotes. Price puts it in play. Hubbard into the paint. Price kicking it out front. 3-ball from Rivers. Rims out, grabbed by Reese. Another board. Hubbard eventually fouled. And Hubbard shooting in a 24-9 ball game. Well, those media timeouts, by the way, are the first dead ball inside 5 minutes to go in the corner. This week, though, is the first that I can recall that we've observed those media timeouts. Here, of course, in Georgia, they put them in play last year. And the logic was that if you make it to the Nationals, and a Georgia team will make it to the Nationals, and an Alabama team will make it to the Nationals, they take the media timeouts. So when I get accustomed to the practice, I don't know if that is what has prompted the observance of the media timeouts here. But we are still about 3 minutes away from taking that break. Key at the stripe. Key a 26% free throw shooter. Averages about 3 points per contest. Has had 3 starts this year. That came early in the year. And since those 3 starts, it has primarily been Thomas, who, by the way, is back into the ball games. Good to see Thomas back in. Had that injury that took her off the floor, but back in now. Over goes to Goodman. Murph down low to Watts. She'll back up, shoot, dip it in and out. Rebounded by Price. Rivers with a miss. Dixon retrieves. Over goes to Reese, kicks it outside of the arc. Rivers back out to Price. And Price will lean in off the rim, loose ball. And finally wrapped up and secured by Thomas. Thrown away behind Goodman. Kendall McCoy back into the game for Talladega as Rivers will head to the sidelines. Here comes Tajay Young to the scorer's table, and now into the game is Goodman. Will exit for the Coyotes. Could be one of those games where just about everybody wearing a gold jersey gets an opportunity to get onto the floor for the Coyotes. And there's contact as Dixon brings it into the paint. That'll be Murph. No, make that Watts. Watts charged with the foul. McCoy puts it in play. Price travel. Here comes Stanton back into the ball game for Talladega. And it is Reese who will exit. I think everybody wearing a Talladega jersey has already gotten into the game. Watts giving it to Young. Down it goes to Thomas, and Thomas got the roll. Price backing it out to midcourt, gives over to Stanton. Squares, shoots the long two. Too long, rebounded by Thomas. She'll get ahead of the pack. Brings it glass to glass. And the foul is committed, and Thomas will be shooting free throws. Thomas, a pretty good free throw shooter. Shoots in the 70% range. As a matter of fact, right square on 70%. This is a team that hits 54% of their free throws. Thomas averaging 9 points a game. 1 of 2 with the rebound snagged by Dixon. Three ball launched and dropped in by McCoy. Over to Murph, brings it down low, kicks it out front to Watts. Key able to get an easy 2, compliments of the attempted steal by Stanton. When Stanton committed to the steal and didn't make it, Key able to make 2. Dixon for 2. And we got a travel, we've got a dead ball, we've got 4:28 to play in the half. That should be your immediate timeout. And it is. We'll take a break with 4:28 to play in half number 1.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Four minutes, 28 seconds left to play. Half number 1 in a 30-16 contest. Coyotes scored the game's first 11 and haven't looked back. Rebounded by Price, kicks it out to Stanton, shoots the 3, it's too strong. Young's got it. Lobs down the floor to Watts. Back it goes to Watts. Trying to sneak it to Thomas. Tipped out of bounds by Austin. And the Coyotes maintain possession squarely on the 4-minute mark. Well, the last of our basketball before the holidays as Watts brings it inside for 2. This Saturday's basketball here. And then right after the holidays, I think it's the 27th, maybe the 28th. Back to the basketball, we'll do it in Georgia. Off the mark on the Dixon 3. And that will go out of bounds off of Watts. Lady Jets Christmas Classic coming up for 4 days. Trying to think of all the teams that will be there. Snow, Shelton State, Tallahassee, Eastern Florida. I think St. Pete will be there. Obviously, South Georgia Tech, Georgia Highlands. Thrown away by Murph. Cribbs and Geiger back into the ball game. Price and McCoy coming out. And originally, Talladega thought it was their ball. Officials say nope. Belongs to the Coyotes. Young puts it in play, gives it to Weiss. Off the rim, Key with it. Put back is good from Key. Stanton with a miss. Put back, not there, but there is a foul. Murph, the guilty party. And Austin will head to the stripe with 2:39 to play in the first half. Lennox back into the game. Murph out. I don't think we've got 3 Coyotes that haven't seen the floor yet. And as I mentioned, in a game in which the Coyotes already with a fairly sizable lead of 18. Probably going to see everybody on the floor at some point, if the lead is sustained. And obviously the Coyotes are hoping that the lead is sustained. And grows off the fingertips of Lennox. Tornadoes put it in play. Off the glass and rim, but the rebound belongs to Austin. Kicks it over to Stanton. She'll shoot the 3. It is rebounded, the putback from Geiger, not there. And then you got a jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep us on this end of the floor. "32 minutes into the game and 18 minutes into the basketball. Austin able to spin around Key for 2. Over it goes to Young. Watts on the right side, left open in the corner. That is Young, been able to get back and defend Dixon, tipped it out of bounds. Coyotes with a basketball, 9 on the shot clock. Watts. Boy, she has had a pretty nice inside game today. Lennox with a rebound off the miss. Young able to snag it in the corner. Thrown away by Key. Dixon going the other way. Over to Stanton. Wide open for the 3, and she'll hit it. Talladega draws to within 14. Into the corner it goes to Young. She'll rattle in the 3. Stanton, the long 2. Too long. Tipped away from Young. Watts goes onto the floor to wrap it up. You got a jump ball. The possession arrow will take us to the other end of the floor. Coming up at halftime, we talk with Daniel Head. the athletic director of all the Coastals. Conversation recorded the 1st of November. Some things have changed, but a lot haven't. So that conversation coming up at the half. Using the time and executing the plan. And it will allow the Coyotes to take a 19-point lead into the locker room at halftime. 41-22 advantage. We are at the half. Our conversation with Daniel Head coming up.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
It is halftime. At least we are airing this at halftime, but we are also airing this on YouTube, and it's not halftime there. So I guess we'll just say it's a conversation with the AD and all the Coastals, Daniel Head. How you doing, Daniel?
Oh, I'm doing great, Robert. Thanks for having me on today.
Hey, it is a delight, man. You have got to have a really busy schedule, and I think today's probably indicative. I mean, you've been at all the campuses that play sports, and, well, you've been to 2 of the 3, and the 3rd is coming up. But you've also got a lot of construction work going on at Coastal. So how are you balancing all these different tasks?
It's just another day in paradise. We've got I balance everything because we have a great staff of coaches that run their programs at a high level, and so they make my job a lot easier. I just am kind of go and try to facilitate things for them and provide opportunities for them to do the jobs that they were hired to do. So, we've got a lot of things happening. We've had a lot of things going on, college-wide over the last year or so with some changes, and we're excited about the new look and some of the new facility things we have going. And it's a great time to be a Coastal Alabama Coyote.
There are so many changes going on. I'm delving into my brain as to which one to hop on first. Let's start with the Coyotes. Okay, so there used to be Sun Chiefs, there used to be Warhawks, there used to be Eagles, now all Coyotes. How has that transition to a new mascot been?
Oh, it's been incredible. The campuses, the communities, the student athletes, the coaches, everybody's bought in, and they see. I think they've finally. There was obviously with change, there's always going to be some apprehension and there will be some resistance. But, we had a good team that worked together to implement the change and with a partnership with Rare Design and with our PR marketing department. It was just, they made things as easy as possible. And they've done a lot of when people start seeing the new look and the new logo. And I mean, we've already won some state and national awards with the new logos. It's just been a great, exciting opportunity, and the kids are really embracing it. And we're just excited about the future.
I like the new look. I like the new logo. The question I've got to have answered is, let's go back in time, because I'm assuming that when you go through this process of determining what is going to be that final one name that represents all campuses, that there's a discussion of a variety of names. So how were the Coyotes the final one decided upon?
Well, like I said before, Rare Design was a they're a company that's what they do. They do branding and logo designs, and what's unique about their company is they kind of like to tell a story and they want to learn about the organization. So this was a long, thorough process where they came in and they interviewed community members, alumni, students, faculty, staff. I mean, everybody that's been involved that would have an impact with the college, and they kind of wanted to understand what were some of the trends and what were some of the familiarities and what with all of our athletics and the communities and some of the characteristics, because obviously when you design a brand, you want it to represent some of the characteristics that you feel your organization has. And so through that, they determined some of the consistent things were loyalty and familial, but also intense and things like that. So they gave us a lot of direction to tell that story. And when we did release the rollout of announcing the name and all that, we had a video that kind of explained that process and explained why. And I know you aired that, so you've seen it, but yeah, that is a lot of where that comes from. And then we kind of had a few different options that we were talking about, and there were some rumors about different things, but we settled on the Coyote, and it also is a very prominent member of the community here. I mean, you can ride down the road at night, or you go, a lot of people hunt, live around rural areas and heck, populous areas these days where, you can find coyotes roaming around, and they have a lot of, cool characteristics. And then once we decided what we wanted to go with, their design team just did a phenomenal job on the look, and we couldn't be more pleased.
Obviously, we're limited at halftime because I think we probably can go through a couple of halves on the information about things going on in Coastal. So let me hop over to construction. A lot of renovation going on, and specifically having an impact on play in the gymnasium is the work there at Coastal South. So when do you think that gymnasium will be available?
Right now, we are planning on there's some games on the schedule in early December. I think it's December 3rd, 4th, something like that. We will be in the gym for those games. I actually just spoke with the project manager today. She's in Bruton. She's with another facility another facility improvement in Bruton that we've been doing with the HVAC unit here, and she assured me that everything was on track for, basically when we get back from Thanksgiving break, to be able to at least, for most of the building to be accessible, but for all the, for practicing and games and all that. I mean, I went in yesterday, the bleachers are in, the floor's down, it looks great. And so it's really proud of all the work and all the commitment. And, there's been a year of, a lot of people having to adjust and work around it. And that's a little frustrating, but you'll take a little bit of a frustration for a year to have long-term, a nice long-term solution.
For those of us who have not had the opportunity yet to go in and take a look around, what are the differences? I mean, do you still have at South that band stage on one end and the crow's nest about mid part of the floor? Is that still part of the makeup?
I don't think so. No, I think the crow's nest probably still there. The band stage is gone. It's just the bleachers, we've got the gold chair backs. They look really good in there with the black frame. It's the floor. We got a couple of neat surprises there on the floor that we don't want to reveal right now, but it's a really cool look there. It's just real clean and new goals assemblies, motors on the things that lift the goals up. I mean, it's and the bleachers were pushed in yesterday, so I didn't see them pulled out. Like I said, they just installed them last week, so that was my first opportunity to go in and look. So I got to kind of get a sort of a preview, but not a full functioning preview yet.
All right, let's hop outside of Coastal and into the conference where there's now two divisions, 1 and 2. You've got a Coastal that's a 1, you got a Coastal that's a 2. How has that been thus far? I know it's very early, and as a matter of fact, really some of the teams just now beginning division play, but how has that been?
Well, right. We just finished up our fall seasons, our volleyball, which volleyball in the state of Alabama right now is all Division II. So both of our teams play in the Division II conference. Our Coastal North team in Bruton, they finished third in the conference and went to the postseason and had a great year. And finished strong there. Our men's and women's cross country teams in Bruton. Our men's team is actually compete first year program. We finished fourth in the conference in the regular season tournament, and we qualified for nationals. So first year we're headed up this weekend. Coach Nims and her crew, they've just done an outstanding job of just taking on the new program and going out and working hard. And they're going to be competing in the national cross country meet this weekend in Huntsville. So that's another just unheard of accomplishment for a first team year program. So we're excited about that. Now we're rolling into basketball season, which that's where the D1, D2 really starts to affect. We have our Monroeville Coastal North teams are Division II. Our Bay Minette teams are Division I. So they'll play in different conferences. They actually play each other in non-conference also, and they've already played once in the non-conference. And actually, the women play tonight. Again in Monroeville. So we're getting those non-conference games out of the way, and then they'll start conference play in a few weeks. And the cool thing with all those sports is we have an opportunity to be conference champions and both at both places.
Mm-hmm.
There's no interconference competition. We could go win national championships, and at both we'd have a Coastal South and Coastal North national champion. I mean, so that's one of the things that with the realignment, you want to allocate your resources to be smart and fiscally responsible. And so we had 3 teams all playing in the same conference, and only one could be a champion, and that's kind of frustrating a little bit if you're allocating your resources all with only one opportunity. Where this time we have 2 different teams that can have a clear direct path and not cross each other to be conference champions, state champions, national champions, however that works. And that, I think that helps show more viability and why we have multiple teams and multiple programs on different campuses.
Okay, now I got to ask, you got 2 Division II volleyball teams, though, South and North. So what was the thinking behind that?
Well, that's just that's the conference mandate. All of our teams are Division II, so that was kind of an exception to everything else. But all of the individual sports are the same, like your golf and tennis. But those are more of your individualized sports. The only major team sport like volleyball is the only one where we have the same, and that's just due to there's not an option for the conference. With international play being a Division I. In Alabama, you can't have international scholarship students. And so we're at a competitive disadvantage in volleyball because most of your highly competitive teams in volleyball are going to have basically probably 75% international players, and it's just a totally different game. And so, our conference has never been really competitive at the national level of Division I. So that we all moved to Division II, so we'd have an opportunity. Wallace Hansville won the conference championship, and they've got a legitimate shot to go win the national championship now. And, they've been a dominant team in Alabama, but they've never really had a chance to compete nationally in the national tournament in Division I over the past few years. So.
Daniel Head, always great talking with you. We hadn't conversed since last year, so I wanted to get you on the air so we could find out the latest in regards to Coastal. Great job. Love the Coyote logo and how that has transferred into a great athletic look. And we'll talk again during the course of the season.
That's great, Robert. We're proud of it, and thanks again for all you do for us. It's a great partnership that we have with JockJive, and just do a first class job, and we're proud to be able to have partnered with you guys and have this relationship.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, have a great evening.
You too.
pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Welcome back as we get ready for second half action. These Coyotes are about 20 minutes away from an 8-8 record. Came in with a 7-8 mark. 41-22 halftime lead, up by 19. So certainly on a track that would get them to the 500 mark. Opening possession of quarter number 3, half number 2. It briefly belonged to Talladega. Murph with a miss, Slaughter with a make. Slaughter scored the first 4 of the ball game and has the first 2 of the second half. And that has given the Coyotes them their first 20-plus point lead. Coyotes putting the same 4 on the floor that began the ball game on the floor to start the second half, as it is rebounded and then thrown away by Thomas. You've got Thomas, you've got Slaughter, you've got Murph, you've got Watts, and Goodman for the Coyotes. Over to Goodman. Little different look for Talladega. They've got Reese and Stanton. They've got Austin. And they've got Dixon, but they do not have the starter McCoy on the floor. Instead, they have Price. I'm going to stand, and Stanton had her heels out of bounds. Cribbs into the game. Price will go out for Talladega. Looking for the first points in the second half. Took them a little while to get started in the first half. Coyotes reeled off 11 in a row before the Tornadoes got on the board. And here in half number 2, a little better than a minute in. And the Tornadoes scoreless. Watts for 3, wide left, but rebounded by Goodman. Harvard goes to Murph, able to save a slightly errant toss. Brings it to the stripe and drops it in. Coyotes by 25. Albany Tech here on Saturday. Men playing Bishop State. Austin with the rebound. Over to Stanton, thought about the 3 ball. Goodman defends. Long 2 from Reese isn't long enough. Watts trying to get the reverse underneath. Maybe an ill-advised shot, and the rebound belongs to Cribbs. Stolen away by Murph. And Murph bringing it to the opposite end of the floor. Rebounded by Austin. 2.5 minutes in. And the Tornadoes looking for their first second half points. Over to Stanton. Picks it up at the elbow, goes over to Austin. Back over to Stanton, shoots the 3. Rebounded by Thomas. Thomas, number 4 in the ACCC in rebounds. Coastal North in the conference, the number 1 rebounding team. Murph from the elbow. 2 more from Murph. And all of the second half scoring has belonged to the Coyotes. Coyotes, as I mentioned, jumped out in front due to an 11-0 run to begin the game. They are currently on an 8-0 run to begin the second half. Missed by Thomas. It will go out of bounds. Off of Reese. Diane Grace Nelson coming into the ball game for the Coyotes, which means you are down to about 3 now. Make that 2 on the Coyote bench that haven't been in the game. Nelson has appeared in 12 games this year. Averaging a little less than a point a game. Murph, too strong, rebounded by Cribbs. Goodman had it, lost it, Stanton takes it. Back over to Stanton, puts it on the floor. Long 2, there's the first 2 of the second half for Talladega. And there is a timeout on the floor asked for by the Tornadoes with 5:42 to play in the third.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, there is Diane Grace Nelson's mama, Stephanie. Probably, texting the family, hey, she's in the game. .542 left to play in the third. And obviously a lot of things can happen in the game of basketball, but barring the borderline miraculous, and I know we've got about a quarter and a half to go, but where things would have to take a drastic turn, and they have, but it would have to be a really drastic turn for this one to get turned into a Tornado win. So let's see if the Coyotes are on their way to a 500 mark at 8-8. Into the corner, Nelson off on the 3 try. Over it goes to Dixon and then back out front. Then is Cribbs with it. Down low, Austin, and Austin able to get by Thomas. Lob to Slaughter. Over it goes to Murph. Down low, Thomas, perimeter 2, too strong. The put back by Nelson, and she's got 2. Picking up the dribble, it is Cribbs. Able to get rid of it over to Dixon. Working it to the timeline and then to the top of the key into the paint. Leans in, Slaughter got a hand on her. And at the 4:22 mark, we've got one of those media timeouts in a 51-26 contest. Coyotes.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, if you're not familiar with the program here in Coastal Alabama North, and you know it's home to the Coyotes, you're wondering why in various spots you see the Eagles. That's because the name change just happened at the end of last year, and everything hasn't become Coyotes yet, but will be. It's a transition. Dixon shooting in a 51-26 game. 4:22 left to play in the third. And a reminder to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And also love to have you subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube channel's got games live, but it's got some other stuff too. Excellent ball movement. Slaughter off the rim, and Glass not there. But able to come out of the pack with it is Nelson. Hands it over to Murph. Goodman leans in for two. "57 points a game. That is what the Coyotes average. Of course, on Monday night, put 66 on the board. And sure looks like tonight there may be more than 57. Nelson with a rebound, hands it over to Murph. Back to Goodman. Giving to Nelson. Kicks it back out front to Goodman. She'll rattle it in with 9 left on the shot clock. Over to Dixon, works it to the top of the key. Into the corner to Dixon. That is Hubbard who will work it to the paint. And sure looks like she took an extra step, and that's what the official thought too. Stanton and Dixon will come out of the game, into the game McCoy and Geiger. Here's Young checking into the game for the Coyotes. And it will be Murph leaving the contest. Opposite side of the floor, Young. Slaughter from the corner, short on the three, got it back. Lost it, bring it into the glass. Crims to the other end of the floor. And there's Hubbard for two. Pass intended for Nelson. Hubbard will steal it away. Top of the key three. Missed by Crims. Stolen away, retrieved in the corner by Hubbard. And then you got a double dribble from Hubbard. Hall and Watts in, Nelson, and let's see who else will go out. Looks like it's going to be Slaughter. Watts was looking for somebody to get rid of it too, doing a balancing act on the baseline, and you heard that little Just couldn't find anybody to get it to. So the Tornadoes got it. Hubbard lost it. Hall's got it. Misfires from the right side. Thomas lost it, able to get it back. Watts has it down low. She'll use her body to shield off Rivers, get the bucket, and draw the foul. And Watts will shoot. Well, we had nearly a 2-hour ball game on Monday against East Central. This one, I'm real doubtful it's going to go 2 hours. Got a minute 19 to play in the third, an hour 5 in. Geiger over to McCoy, and McCoy will attract the foul. That'll be charged to Watts. And McCoy will go to the stripe. Well, don't forget, Game of the Week on Alabama Public TV starting on the 13th of January. And every Saturday for 7 weeks, we'll be producing the Game of the Week for the ACCC on the Alabama Public Television, which, from what I understand, is not only viewable in Alabama, but some of the neighboring states gain access to the channel too. Great exposure for the conference. Young for three. Kicked over to Rivers. Rivers rattling in and out the three. It will go out of bounds, and at last got the fingertips of a Coyote. Trying to get into Hall, that will go out of bounds off the fingertips of Hall. Geiger, two-pointer, too short. Young's got it. Sends it over to Goodman. And Goodman off the glass and rim as the buzzer sounds to put an end to three. Coyotes by 30 as we head to the fourth.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the Dental Assisting Program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes with an opportunity to set some season highs and lows. The highest point output offensively on the year, 72. So they are 11 away from that. Their best defensive showing of the season, 43. So they got a shot at that as well. Fourth quarter action underway. Thomas, Goodman, and Hall out. It is Key, Lennox, and Crane who are into the ball game for the Coyotes. And the lead is drawn after every quarter. Lennox will reach in, I think, and commit the foul. And it is Lennox, as Kindle and McCoy will shoot free throws. Coastal Alabama 5-4 at home, trying to improve their home record to 6-4. And stretch the win streak to 3 games. Over it goes to Young, into the corner to Crane. She'll put up the perimeter 2 and drop it in. And if that win streak goes to 3, that will become the longest win streak of the year. Over to Dixon, pulls up, fires for 2, short on the shot. Austin with the rebound, back over to Dixon. Backs up behind the arc and puts in the 3 ball. Over it goes to Lennox. Opposite side of the floor, Young. And Watts travel. Talladega putting it in play from the near sidelines. And if my aged memory serves me correct, Talladega on their seal says they have been in existence since 1897. Out front it goes to Watts. Lennox bringing it baseline, floats into the glass. Got one side on the rim, didn't drop in. Rebounded by Dixon. And handed over to Cribbs. It's Austin for 2. Key coming out of the ball game into the lineup is Megan Odom. And with Megan Odom checking into the ball game, every Coyote but one has been in. Already every Tornado has been into the game. Watts over to Lennox, back and goes to Watts. Crane out of the corner. Watts at the stripe, brings it to the glass, drew the foul of Austin. And that puts Watts at the line. Megan Odom, the freshman, has appeared in 12 games this year, looking for her first points of the season. Shot missing from the elbow by Reese. Saved on the floor. And eventually up with it is Lennox, leading Young a little too much. lead 30 coming into the fourth. The lead currently 24. Into the paint. Nearly taken away by Odom, and now a foul. Let's see who committed the personal. That is going to be Lennox charged with a foul. And McCoy to the line. If you are into NJCAA football, we are 44 minutes away from the kickoff to the national championship game. Played in Little Rock, Arkansas. Iowa Western and East Mississippi tangling for the title. Well, the lead down to 22. Off the glass, 2 for Weiss. Over to Stanton, who is checked back into the ball game. Top side to Cribbs. Feeds it down to Austin. And you got Austin headed to the stripe. Odom committing the foul. One more for Jordan Austin. Put in play to Young, over to Crane, and then Lennox. Too short on the perimeter, too. Austin down with the board. Dixon into the paint. Austin off the glass. Odom the foul. The and one coming up for Austin. Stolen away, Stanton's got it. She'll get the bucket, another and one as Lennox will commit the foul and Stanton will shoot. And that lead now inside 20. Trimmed to a 17-point game. And that has got Mandy Armstrong put some starters back in. Slaughter's in, Goodman in, Murphy in. Top of the key, Murph. And that injury came out of the game against East Central in the fourth. Sat out the rest of the ball game. But in today. And you're going to have a foul called on Goodman. Well, the lead is certainly not nearly as comfortable. It was 30 at one point. 17 now. And McCoy is shooting. And there's still 5 minutes to play in the quarter. You can overcome a 17-point deficit in 5 minutes. And as a matter of fact, the Tornadoes have knocked 13 off the lead in 5 minutes. Now 14 off the lead in 5 minutes. Well, I think I heard them say media timeout. Typically, that timeout comes inside 5. We'll take it just outside 5 in a 66-50 game.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Yep, we are in the crow's nest. Of course, I guess it was labeled a nest when this was the home to the Eagles. I don't know if it's got a new name now that it's the home to the Coyotes. Other than Wiley the Coyote, I'm not familiar with coyotes that go to high places. And he only did it to try to get rid of the Roadrunner. Is that cartoon still playing these days? I'm so out of touch. Off the fingertips of Slaughter. And another foul. This one will be on Murph. That has got Crims at the stripe. And Talladega shooting free throws with the clock stopped. And 15 is as close as they have been in half number 2. Slaughter with the rebound off the Crims miss on shot number 2. Murph with it out front. Pulls up at the elbow, gives over to Slaughter. Back to Murph. She'll shoot the 3. It is too strong. Watts with the board. Off the glass. Thomas off the rim. Watts stepped out of bounds. And it will be Talladega ball. And an opportunity to make it a 13, maybe a 12-point game. Austin over to McCoy. Back to Austin, perimeter 2, not there. And Austin will commit the foul, trying to take it away from Thomas. Watson play to Goodman. Over it goes to Murph. I think that was intended to be a pass. Slaughter with a couple of opportunities, and the second one good. Over to Austin, given to Stanton. And Goodman called with the foul after she tipped it away from Crims. Well, if you can maintain a 15 to 17 point lead, get an inside 2, you're feeling a whole lot more comfortable. Couple of misses from Crims. And let's see if the Coyotes opt to run some time off the clock. Stanton will tip it out of bounds. In play to Thomas, and Thomas from just outside of the paint. Short on the three try from Dixon. It is tracked down by Watts. Gets it over to Murph. Down it goes to Goodman. Down low, Slaughter, two more. And with the Slaughter points, you've got the best offensive output of the season for the Coyotes. Goodman with it out front. Down low, off the glass, Thomas. And after a little bit of a scare halfway through the quarter, looks like the Coyotes are on their way to their 6th win at home, their 8th overall. Coach called time, but just for substitutions, not to converse. So the ladies are going to get back onto the floor. And we'll get the final 98 seconds of this one under our belt. Loose ball, and Goodman's got it. And again, the Coyotes will run some clock. Over it goes to Murph. Back to Goodman. Gives a look to the shot clock. Gets into the paint. Leans in. Off the rim. Put back from Slaughter. Good. Into the corner, 3-ball off the rim for Geiger. Watts will track it down. Murph to the top of the key. She'll put it up from the elbow, off the rim. Rebounded by Hubbard. Into the paint. Thomas with the rebound. Over to Watts. And all the Coyotes have to do is hang on to it. They will, and that will be your ball game. Coyotes improve to 7, make that 8-8 on the year, 6-4 at the house. And get ready for the last game before the holidays, as they will take on Albany Tech on Saturday. We'll be here for the coverage. And of course, the men of Coastal Alabama North will play on that day too. And we'll have them both right here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday. For all the folks with Coastal Alabama and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.